Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we out there doing, boys and girls? Welcome to the Panel Network. And I am your host, Coach Corey. And today, we will be doing the first WWE podcast. And first of all, before we get started, I want to make sure that you subscribe and you like. Please, we got to get those thumbs up. Subscribe, recommend it to all your family and your friends and your listeners out here as we talk about some good old WWE. Let's get things rolling. We're gonna sit here and introduce ourselves to the beautiful, lovely lady over here to my right.
Hi, I am Miss Lex, and I'm here to talk about some of this WWE action that's been going on recently.
Okay, so question: How long you been watching wrestling, and what got you into watching it?
Oh, it's been a long time. I say I was about 5 years old. My grandfather is the one that got me interested in it. We just one night I was at his house and he had it on, and it just drawing me, and from that point on, I just been hooked ever since.
Could you remember the wrestlers you watching?
I believe it was Junkyard Dog taking on George the Animal Steel.
Okay.
Kind of revealed my age there, right there.
Okay. All good. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to sit here and we're going to do a little recap of the Royal Rumble last night. I didn't get a chance to watch it because obviously I was here last night doing another podcast, sports podcast that I do with the gentleman here. We just going to kind of get started there. So I believe my wife did watch it, and I didn't really get a really good chance to watch the whole thing. So what was the first match in the Royal Rumble, babe?
The first match was the 30 Women's Royal Rumble. I was really impressed with the ladies, especially with the first two that came in.
Mm-hmm. Who was the first two ladies?
That was Liv Morgan and Io Sky. Io Sky was number one, and Liv Morgan was number two. They lasted over an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you kind of like really shocked about some returns that you maybe were expecting to see that didn't come, or some that was just came out of like a big surprise that you was just like, wow, I didn't expect for this person to be in, or I didn't expect for this person to be coming back so soon, or anything like that?
Well, I didn't expect Alexa Bliss to be coming back, and she seemed to be prim and primed and ready to go. Like she hadn't lost a beat. She's been gone for a little over a year, about a year and a half, I think.
Okay.
And Nikki Bella actually made her return. And she was, I believe she was number 30. And yes, she made her return. And like I said, the ladies did a phenomenal job through the whole matches and everything. I didn't really expect those returns. Trish Stratus also made her appearance as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they was just over the top nonstop. But when Nia Jax came in there and she just kind of dominated a little bit, and the lady said, I had enough, let's go ahead and try to get her out. But she was very dominant, and they don't call her the dominant force for nothing.
What ladies from TNA was there?
It's just Jordan Grace. They showed up from TNA. There's a lot of ladies from the NXT, like Stephanie Vaquer, Julia the Champ, Roxanne Perez. And for one short time, they had like the original, I guess, the old NXT women taking on the new NXT. It was like 3-on-3. They only lasted for a couple of seconds, but
okay. So you said that Alexa Bliss came back. So I thought that at first she was coming back, then she wasn't. So kind of like lean into that a little bit more and explain that.
Well, it wasn't much to explain about that one. It was just kind of an unexpected thing because at first they were saying, "Oh, she's going to get back in the ring," and then it was like, "No, no, she's not going to get back." And then all of a sudden, boom, we hear her music come out. Like, wow, she's back. So,
Okay. So
but the biggest return of all was Charlotte Flair, which was already announced a week prior, 2 weeks prior. So we knew she was coming back, and she already put her number in as well.
okay, so with Alexa Bliss being back, and we assuming that Nikki is back, but is she back active to the full roster or no?
But they didn't make that for certain. When people make comebacks, especially at the Royal Rumble, you don't know if it's just for certain or they're there for just for the Rumble. You won't know until the weeks keep going and you see them and they make an appearance. But usually, sometimes they just needed that roster to cover, so they might just appear for that night. Like probably Trish Stratus would be one. But Nikki Bella, I'm not sure if she's back or she just came back for the Rumble. That one I'm not sure.
Well, you already know how I feel about that. I'm not a big fan of Nikki. I never really thought she was that very good of a wrestler in the ring. Her persona, the whole thing. I thought Brie was a little bit better. That's just my opinion. The time that she held the Divas championship for that little length of time, and it was only just because I felt like she didn't have no true competition. But she really all didn't do much for me. It's like I just felt Nikki was just like overrated, to be honest.
Yeah, there is, but most of it is just a storyline. So you just gotta lean into the story so much versus just trying to say who they don't like and do like, because it might be a reason as to why their input right there.
So with Alexa being back, what do you think they're gonna end up doing with her?
Well, could be a number of things. She can probably come back and proclaim that she's ready to get the title back. Um, she probably might have some few loose ends that she had to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Like at one point, her and Nikki Cross, they were back and forth, and now Nikki Cross is part of the Wyatt Six now, so
Okay.
that could be a match right there. Like I said, she can also go for the title. Um, she can go after Rhea Ripley, or she can go after Tiffy Time, which is Tiffany Stratton. It's really up to how the storyline is going to lead and everything, but it's really early to tell because the Royal Rumble just happened yesterday. So it's really hard to tell which direction they might decide to go with her.
So who was your maybe thought a notion who you thought maybe had to win the women's Royal Rumble?
But when I saw Charlotte come back, I kind of had a notion that she would.
You didn't think anybody else that maybe would win it? You didn't think about like say uh they give it to Roxanne Perez, or they maybe say let's let Liv win it again, or let's just say Nia Jax win it. You just thought eventually when you seen Charlotte come back that she was gonna win it.
Well, Roxanne Perez, because she's in NXT. It all depends when they do the roster, when they do the draft, if they're going to move them up. And because she's in NXT, majority of the time, it's no telling that that will be a competition. Because right now, she got a storyline going on right now in NXT.
Okay.
So you have to look at, when you watch overall, when you watch Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, you got to look at all the storylines because it's almost like watching a Marvel movie. You got to watch each and everything, even if they have the shows that go along with it. And then you can pick and choose kind of where it's going.
Okay, well, you talking about storylines. So with Charlotte coming back and then Charlotte winning, where do you think the storyline is going? Why do you think that maybe she won the Royal Rumble? Because I don't think that, okay, yeah, she just came back all of a sudden. You've been gone for so long, and then boom, you win in the Royal Rumble. So what do you think the storyline is going with that?
Well, because there's a lot of people too that probably wanted to get a chance to dance with the queen. as she calls herself. It could be a lot of people that never got a chance to because she was injured. It could be another rematch or matches that didn't happen. Like they had a talk of Becky Lynch possibly coming back. So that they never really had a real match back and forth. They always been kind of back and forth, or if somebody needed help here, somebody needed help there. Okay, I'll come and help you, but it was never one on one actually those two meetings. So that could be a match. She can probably go after Nia. It really depends on what brand also that she's going to be on, because that really, because she just came back, there's no telling what brand she's on. She could be on Raw or SmackDown. So it all depends on what brand too, because if you're going for a title, you have to be part of a certain brand.
And I get that. So with her winning, what would your prediction be? Who do you think, and what do you think she's gonna end up doing?
Well, if you want to do another storyline that'd be better, I would say Charlotte taking on Tiffany Stratton. What better way to start from somebody that has experience versus somebody from who just really recently, probably for a year, came up from NXT? Because honestly, the Rhea and Charlotte thing that already happened, and I don't know if everybody want to see those two go at it again. It's been twice already.
Mm.
And it's like Rhea beat Charlotte and then Charlotte beat Rhea, not in that order. So that already happened. It seems to me that, and then even Charlotte shook it up one year and went after the NXT title. So it could, and that was the time Rhea was champ. So during NXT time before they moved her up. So I think a good match would be her and Tiffany Stratton, honestly.
All right. Well, do you think that there's a strong possibility that um, Bailey could possibly go out the NXT title? Because I seen little clips the way she was kind of looking at Julia a little bit like.
I mean, it's a possibility. It could happen. But honestly, I've seen Julia, and I don't know if I'm not saying that Bailey can't hold a candle to her. I believe she can, but that's going to be kind of tough because at this point, Bailey's like considered almost royalty for NXT. She be like the one to, coach everybody and help everybody if they want to come up. Like what Natalia did. I think that would be kind of like that in that sense. So watching her and Julia, that would actually be a good match. But I think Julia will actually win that one if it came down to her going after the NXT title.
Okay. So what was the second match?
The second match was the Motor City Machine Guns taking on DIY for the title was 2 out of 3 falls.
And did they retain a title?
Well, it was DIY that won the first fall, and then the Motor Machine Guns did the second round. And then when we got to the third part, it looked like Motor Machine Guns was about to take the title back. But then the Street Profits came out and interfered, and they wanted DIY to win because I have reason to believe they are out for revenge. And the revenge was because originally, before they were attacked by DIY, they were about to be next in line going for the tag team titles, but they were attacked. So what better yet, why don't we let them win so we can get them, kick their butts, and take the titles from
them. Okay. All right. So you think it's that's a possible WrestleMania match in the works?
They could do a WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber.
All right. And what was the next match after that?
And that was Cody Rhodes taking on Kevin Owens.
And what happened there?
That match was brutal. It was very brutal.
What type of match was it?
It was a ladder match.
Okay.
They had to suspend both titles in the air, and whoever got them both down wins. And it looked like Kevin Owens was about to take it because he was giving Cody a run for his money. But then I guess the adrenaline kicked in, and Cody said, And the end of it, it got to a point where Sami Zayn even came down and was just checking on both of them because it was really bad. And then it ended with Cody doing a power bomb and he landed head first through the ladder.
Ooh.
And it's like his behind and his legs was in the air. And he did not move for like a good few minutes. And to find out that they both got injured, obviously Kevin definitely was injured, but Cody, yeah, that match was brutal.
Oh wow.
That was bad. And as you keep watching it, it was just a point like, man, I just hope they both make it out with their lives. Forget the title, or y'all gonna make it.
So basically, they put on a good show then.
Man, if you into that type of stuff, the brutality and blood and all of that, then that was almost taken back to the ECW days, almost the way they were going.
Wow, they was really into it. They was really doing their thing then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then moving on to the coup de grace, the grand finale, the men's Royal Rumble. Oh man! So who was the first two participants?
Well, I thought they were about to do Mexico because Mexico led it. It was Rey Mysterio came in first, and then Penta came in second. So, and it just seems like down the road, and then here comes Santos Escobar. So I was like, okay, maybe somebody this time from one of them camps was going to win because there was all of them in there. And then it was like Drew, Seth, all of them came in like in the middle numbers towards the 20s.
No surprise returns? No.
Other than John Cena, and most people, even I'm not a John Cena fan.
Was anybody from NXT there?
It was TNA mostly. It was Joe Hendry.
Oh gosh, that dude. Say his name.
Are you gonna say it? I believe in Joe Hendry.
Nah. You ain't gonna catch me singing that damn song. No.
It was very catchy if you're into that, but he had the TNA title, so I doubt that he was even going to win the Royal Rumble.
Okay, all right. So, who was the last six?
I don't remember offhand. Because, sometimes you went to the action, you don't pay attention to the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
All I remember was Logan Paul came in at number 30, which not a Logan Paul fan either.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a lot of them weren't Logan Paul fans because I think they started to jump him after a while. It was like 6 of them going after him. And for that reason, I kind of understand because you got somebody that's not part of our world, and we've been doing this craft, some of them for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And went to wrestling schools and, try their best to, just perfect their craft. And then you got somebody that's flash by the pan person that comes in that's a reality TV star or whatever you want to call him, just comes in and take over in our world. And the first time he came in, he wins a title. Like, that's not fair.
Right.
And there's other people that's been there for years that hadn't even wrestled. That's trying to get their start. Here, this guy come in and boom. But Logan Paul said he was just dedicating to wrestling now. He doesn't want to do all the other stuff he was doing before. He wants to be 100% a wrestler. He wants to prove everybody wrong, which is his idea of what he's trying to do. He's trying to let everybody know, okay, yeah, I know what y'all see me as, but this is what I'm going to be. I'm going to be one of the best wrestlers, superstars that anybody has ever seen coming into this ring. So now you have to really prove yourself. And I feel like this is going back to the time with The Miz. But even The Miz, he still, went through everything that he had to go through even before he got to that point. And even he said so himself that even after he did Tough Enough and all that, it was still guys looking at him like, who are you,
Right, yeah.
And, eventually he was able to do what he did because he's still there now. So
Okay.
so he must be doing something right. That's how I look at it. But Logan Paul now is the same thing. So now he's gonna have to really prove himself.
Yeah, but now I can remember I right after wrapping up the podcast here, I had called you. I was on the phone and you told me that the last 6 was Logan Paul, John Cena, Jay Uso, uh Seth Rollins,
Roman Reigns,
Roman Reigns, and
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Now what happened there?
Well, between 6 of them, they were all going at it.
Right.
And Seth and Roman decided to go at it.
Okay.
Which is, because at first Seth was talking to Roman, and everything about, I guess, let us work together, old days. Roman like, no, we not going down this road and all this other stuff. And then next thing you know, they started at it. And they were leaning on the ropes. So CM Punk, that's my opportunity. Flipped them both over. Which is smart. And then he wasn't paying attention because here comes Logan Paul. Now he flipped him over.
What? Oh gosh.
So I was kind of upset, but it's almost like because they threw their hats in, it would have been too predictable between those 3 guys especially. But they all have held world titles in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like, oh, here we go again. Nothing to Seth, Roman, or CM Punk, because those are my favorites.
Right. So now you got CM Punk. No, so now you got John Cena, Jay, and Logan.
Mm-hmm.
What happens there?
So then they all start going at it. And then John Cena throws Logan Paul out.
Okay.
So now they left Jay Uso and John Cena. They go at it, and John was on the outside. And when you're on the outside on that around the ring, that's usually a good indication. If you don't get yourself back in there, you about to get knocked out.
Right.
And he was on the outer border. Jay got him. That was it.
Oh wow. That had to be a big moment for Jay.
It was a huge moment. And I'm actually proud that finally, in a sense, they got somebody that's kind of like an underdog in a sense, even though I don't think he's an underdog, but an underdog that now he has an opportunity to win the world title. He already won an Intercontinental title. He has been tag team champs I don't know how many times. He's been there 14 years. So why not? Why not give him a shot? He's a very good wrestler.
So he must have had the whole place eating then.
Man, he had everybody eating, everybody on the table, eating on beat, off beat, whatever. They were just eating away. Had his son there. They were all just eating. It was actually pretty cool.
Was Pat McAfee doing what Pat McAfee do?
Of course. He even pulled Michael Cole up there. Come on, eat with me.
Oh, God.
And he even had Wade Barrett getting up there. Everybody eating.
Oh, man.
Everybody was eating.
Wow, man. I bet you the crowd was going wild, too.
They were going crazy.
Because then nobody expect that.
I didn't even expect that, but I'm happy it happened.
Man.
And that's the great thing, what I liked about wrestling when they do the unpredictability. You just don't know when it's going to happen, but everything gets so predictable. That's when it gets stale, it gets boring, because you already know who's going to win. You already know who's going to lose. But when that happened, it seemed like there is a new era. This is a brand new year, let somebody else go for it. It's always the same people. The last few years for the title, because Roman held it for many years.
Right.
So why not give somebody else a chance? Gunther, who's now the current title holder, he's also very good. I like Gunther. And he has proven himself. When before he got to NXT, he held the title for many hundreds of days, like several years.
Right.
And then the NXT title he held for years. And then he came up to the roster. He held the Intercontinental title for 666 days. And now he's the champ. So in my opinion, he earned all that. He is very good.
Yeah. I mean,
he's very good. So for me, that would make more sense versus, hate to bring it up, Logan Paul, who just came in and got the title because you had interference from the outside.
Yeah, I heard that he had one of his boys in the Royal Rumble with him.
Yes, one of them, I can never think of his name. Cesaro. Um, apparently, Mr. Carmelo Hayes decided to knock him out. So they ran to the back. Triple H was back there. We need somebody to get him, and that was his boy. That he's like, yeah, go in there, go in there, and he's like, are you serious? You know, like, yeah, get in there.
Oh wow.
So he ran up in there. Only lasted about maybe 3 minutes.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that did happen. But a lot of it, most of the matches, they were actually on point. A lot of unpredictability stuff that you didn't think that was going to happen. And for me, that's what makes good wrestling. Because you go back to the Attitude Era, everybody tuned in because you didn't know what Stone Cold was going to say. You didn't know what The Rock was going to say.
Yeah.
And then the Undertaker coming in there, you didn't know what he was going to do. It seemed like it's getting back to that point, which makes it good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what makes it good because you don't know what's going to happen. And the Royal Rumble last night kind of did that because even though Charlotte won, you know, it was still kind of unexpected for her to win. But she did it, and I'm proud that she did do it. But at the same time, going back to a lot of people's points, you know, you've been out, and this is not the first time it's happened where she's been out. And then she comes back, and all of a sudden, boom, now you're in the run for the title.
Right. Okay, so now let's put a bow around the whole Royal Rumble now. Okay, so we know Charlotte won. We know that Jay won, but I'm trying to look in between the lines because you know normally in between like during the women's Royal Rumble and the men's Royal Rumble, some how can I say, some storylines are created out of that between that. Do you think just between the women, other than Charlotte winning, do you see some storylines created somewhere in there where somebody is going to be trying to take somebody on in the ring? Like, do you see some storylines created out of that?
Well, what happened last night? Not too much because, like I said, the storylines could go in many directions, which is good.
Right.
They have it to where, let's just say Alexa Bliss is back. Okay, let's just say her, and like I said, they brought Nikki Cross, or it could be the other women that had issues with her in the past. That could be also a match, or it could be the new ones that they just brought up. Like she might decide to go after Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Or she can go after Chelsea Green for the United States title.
Please don't get me started on her.
But I mean, with that happening, it can go either way. But like Nia Jax for most of 2024, she ruled 2024.
Right.
So now it's time for somebody else. Like also Liv Morgan, the second one that kind of ruled 2024. So now it's time to give these other women opportunities to start doing some things. And when you have like people like Charlotte or Bailey, who's been up there so many times and they had been triple crowns and everything, it's really hard to determine what the storylines can lead to. So after the Royal Rumble, usually you start seeing stuff unfolding as of now. So stuff that could lead to the Elimination Chamber coming up, the stuff that lead to WrestleMania coming up, and so forth and so on. So with that, we just got to tune in and kind of find out what's going on.
I got you. I like it. So question is, do you okay, now we know before like the Royal Rumble and before all of this other stuff ever happened, where do you see this storyline going with Bianca, Naomi, and the whole Jade thing? Because that's still the big thing out there right now.
Well, I'm going to have to play a little devil's advocate here. Honestly, I think whatever happened with Jade happened in-house, which means it could have been between Bianca or Naomi.
Okay.
Because Naomi, I really don't see how that could be. But Bianca, I could probably see if they want to turn her into a heel. Because let's just say Jade, when she first came in, you know, she was like the biggest thing, the biggest star, kind of overshadowing what Bianca was doing a little bit, depending if how you look at that.
Right.
And that could be part of a jealousy thing. Like, I don't want you to steal my shine.
Right.
But if they decide to go that route with turning Bianca to a heel, that could be used as a storyline and say, yeah, well, or Jade could come out and say, yeah, Bianca was the one that did this, or Naomi was the one that did this, or, you know, because the other women, you know, it's the obvious. You would think Nia Jax did something. You would think Tiffany Stratton did something.
Right.
Or even if you thought Bailey did something because she was trying to belong.
Yeah.
You know, that's too easy.
Okay.
Why not? Like I said, if you wanted to make it for a good story, do it unpredictably.
All right. So now with the men Royal Rumble, what do you see any storylines coming out of that? Because, like I said, we were talking earlier, and we were both saying that John Cena had already put himself in an elimination chambers match. So now we have Seth Rollins that don't like Roman and don't like CM Punk. So what do you see anything going with that?
I can see because right now Seth is very upset because he feels that these two men are the reason why I'm not where I want to be, which is heading for that championship. So naturally, he already don't like CM Punk. He been, you know, we heard since he came back how he, you know, kind of messed things up. He's like a cancer. He's messing up everything here.
Right.
Then you talking about the beef with Roman that goes back 10 years now. Actually, 11 years now from the Shield. So you talk about that. Then you're also dealing with Drew McIntyre might even decide to throw himself in a hat because he don't like anybody. He still blames Roman for what happened to him. For him losing the title 2 years ago. He's not too fond of Seth. And him and CM Punk used to be cool, and now they're kind of beefing. And Drew don't like CM Punk for the same reason Seth doesn't like him.
Right.
So that's that kind of thing. I mean, if I'm just seeing like either a fatal 4-way or a 3-way somewhere in the future.
So all that stuff is like big. So do you see them being inside the elimination chambers match?
It could happen.
And do you see Cody still holding on to his title and making it to WrestleMania?
I think Cody gonna make it to WrestleMania. It's the question is he gonna make it after WrestleMania?
Okay, so now let's just do a little prediction. Who do you see Jay going after for a title?
I see him going after Gunther.
Why you think he's gonna go after Gunther? I mean, they fought already.
Yeah, but it gives a time for him to get redemption because he lost that match. I mean, he came about this close to being Gunther.
Right.
So, and usually when you get that close sometimes in things in life, you're like, okay, well, maybe if I just go a little bit harder, I could probably achieve my goal.
Right.
And I think that's the same situation. Plus, I believe because he's also tight with Cody. So he don't want to go up against his friend. That might be one of the reasons. But I believe he's going to go up against Gunther.
Right. Okay. So now with the women, which way do you think Charlotte is going to lean? And if you had your prediction, which way you think she should lean? So how would you do it? Or how would you do it? And what do you think they might end up doing? What storyline?
Charlotte for me is more like the one that likes a challenge.
Right.
So she already knows what it's like to be in the ring with Rhea Ripley. She doesn't know what it's like to be in the ring with Tiffany Stratton. I believe she's going to go for the challenge and try to go up against Tiffany Stratton.
So if she goes after Tiffany, who you think is going to end up fighting Rhea for her title?
That's pretty tough. Because, I mean, there's a lot of good women out there. as of right now.
Because Rhea's on what, Raw, right?
For now, yeah. Less until they do.
And when is the draft?
Usually, I want to say I forgot if it's either before or after WrestleMania. I don't remember.
Okay.
They change it up sometimes. I'm trying to think.
What would you think would be a good match?
Honestly, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I would think Zarya for NXT would be good up against Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
That would be a good match, but probably have to wait for Zarya to come up from NXT for that. I can even see if Roxanne Perez were to come up, I can see her and Rhea going at it because Roxanne Perez is pretty good. Even Lash Legend, if they decide to bring her up, would be a good match for Rhea Ripley.
You can see that.
Actually, I think she will meet her match with Lash Legend.
Okay, well, just like, because, I don't watch a whole lot of wrestling with you, but when I do, I have my favorites and everything else, and that I like Lash Legend, I like her, but you also know I like Nikita Lyons too, I like her as well, but I'm trying to just figure out, like, just story-wise, what makes the best story.
That for me would make the best story if somebody from NXT, because in my opinion, it seems like Rhea is just as dominant. I feel like she done took on most of that competition that's already up between the SmackDown and Raw roster. But I'm gonna think if you want a good match, you want to see somebody meet that match. Even if Jade comes back, Jade and Rhea Ripley would be good. Would be a good match.
I can see that.
So it's all about who's coming back, who's gonna be out, that type of thing. Where are they going with this story? And are they bringing people up and involving them in the story?
Right.
Because I was even thinking when they decided to bring Jay Cargill there, her and Bianca would have been a good match.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because the way I look at everything and I'm seeing everything and all that, okay, so you just said you would think this would be the person that would take on Rhea. You said you would think Charlotte likes a challenge and she should possibly take on Tiffany Time. We figured Jay is going to end up going after Gunther because you're saying he was that close. Now, when Cody's healthy, who do you think is going to end up going to take him on for his title? Could it be Roman? Could it be Seth? Could it be CM Punk? Because remember now,
I would see CM Punk, and only reason why is because Cody already took on Seth. He already took on Roman, but he hasn't really faced CM Punk 1-on-1. Right. So I could see, and they also give CM Punk a chance to win the title back, which is what he's trying to do.
Which we know. But also think about this though. Like I said, I don't believe they would do this to Jay, and I hope they don't do it. But I know they're going to work it somewhere around it because everybody want to know what is that favor that Paul Heyman owes to CM Punk. That's the whole thing. What is that favor he owes to CM Punk?
I just say the truth will always come out. So whatever that favor is, it's going to come out. That probably could be the favor. The favor could be Paul Heyman talking to Cody because CM Punk is also a Paul Heyman guy. Say, hey, you owe him, even though he's with his tribal chief. Like he said, he owed one. What better way to pay him back than for him to take on Cody Rhodes for the title?
Okay, I can see that. I can see it all. I mean, it's good storyline and everything else. A lot of good content and everything. It's just what the fans want, and what the fans will want to see something that they've never seen before. That's the whole thing that you keep constantly pushing for, because I can remember you taking me to my first WWE event, and like I told you, I'd rather watch it live than watching it on TV.
Yeah, but best experience.
like as we're sitting here talking, we just did a whole outline of the night of the Royal Rumble. So it wasn't like a lot of big surprises. Only main big surprise we can really agree on was Jay winning. Then nobody expect that at all. Then seeing that coming out of left field, man, like, but when he won, that was the thing. And as once again, WWE can still be predictable. Charlotte comes back, wins the Royal Rumble, and that's like, okay, yeah, she won. Like, okay, can we get something a little bit new, different? And then on top of that, when is Becky coming back?
Well, Becky is working, so when she gets done doing what she's doing, then she'll be back.
Okay, so it's oddly enough, to see what's going on. So now let's get into the draft of everybody. Let's start with NXT because we always know that SmackDown and Raw, we always know that they're eventually bringing people up. Who do you think are going to be the people that they're going to bring up from NXT to Raw and to SmackDown this year?
I think Lash Legend is going to be one that they do bring up. As far as the women, I'm gonna be surprised if Roxanne Perez comes up as well. Far off the top of my head, um, maybe even Trick Williams. Maybe they might decide to bring him up.
Now, let's stop right there for a second. Trick going up. Where's Carmelo Hayes at?
I believe he's on SmackDown.
So could you see Trick getting drafted to SmackDown? Oh man, it's like that's on. You turned your back on me.
Mhm.
So like, hey, I'm out to get you. Cause I can see, hey man, I'm here by myself, man. I need you. No, you turned your back on me, remember?
So that could be one. I can
Okay.
even see Lexus King.
I can see I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, which I do like the fact he's living the legacy of his father, even though his storyline is I don't know that man, I don't know who that is.
Right. So now you don't see any other women coming up from NXT that possibly might be ready?
No, they might keep some of them there for a bit. Because of some of them they do bring up, but they don't do anything with.
Yeah, because who did they bring up last year? And you don't.
And that's sad because I forgot. And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
bring people up and they're behind the scenes. They might have did one or two matches and then that's it. But I know they brought up Elektra Lopez and they had her just like be a valet.
Okay. So now we're going to Raw and SmackDown. We seen a little bit of it already. We seen A Town Under go from SmackDown to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see some. Then we seen Damian Priest go from Raw to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you think is probably gonna get drafted from Raw to SmackDown and then from SmackDown to Raw? Who you think is gonna flip?
Well, they already did Selena Vega too. They already moved her.
Where'd she go to?
She's on SmackDown.
So
She's not with Rey Mysterio and none of them.
so she's by herself now.
Yeah.
So who do you think gonna get flipped and go where?
Ugh. Those are hard when you're talking a draft. That's why it's called a draft because you don't know, and even the wrestlers don't know where they're going. That's why they sit around and they wait until they announce it, and then that's when it happens. So the wrestlers don't even know that they're going.
Right.
Now, what they're doing is what they call a shakeup, which is basically, again, we didn't know. They might just say, well, welcome here, like Nick Aldis was doing with the people on SmackDown. Hey, welcome
Right.
here, and I'll send them there. So it's really hard to tell when you're drafting somebody or if somebody's moving anybody up from NXT. Some of them sometimes draft back down to NXT. So it really all depends what direction they decide to go on who they draft.
Okay. I got you. So that's a little bit wild. That's real that's real crazy. Like, to see all that going on and everything else, and the shake up, and this person going here, that person going there. For me, my biggest thing is of okay, with Roman is on what now? Is it? I think is it Raw, or is he still like a free agent? Really, because he was champ. So
He was on SmackDown,
okay.
and I believe he's still there. But like I said, if they do a shakeup, they might decide to move.
Okay. Now I'm gonna circle back to the Royal Rumble, because one thing that me and you were talking about and you brought up very interesting. You said you believe that Jacob Fatu is really growing a big following now, because you said that when he entered, they were shouting his name, and I seen him. His mic skills is like getting real good, and I never heard him on the mic, but it's like, okay, mic skills getting good. So you think they starting to starting to maybe get a little push behind him?
Oh, definitely, most definitely. They believe it or not, they showed a video a year before. Jacob Fatu was in the audience cheering on his cousins in the ring, and who would have thought a year later, now he's in the Royal Rumble. He's now on WWE TV, entertaining. And I noticed that too. Some of the people he's been taking out, from Braun Strowman, most of the people that he has come across, like he's just pretty much bulldozing them over.
Right.
And it's almost like, wow, this dude is almost unstoppable. And I see him, and I see his Uncle Umaga in there. I see in him. I see how I see his father in him. That's kind of the craziness in there. I see big things for him. He's gonna get about as popular as his cousins are. I've reason to believe that he's gonna blow up if he keep on.
So where's Solo?
That's the $1 million question.
When do you think he coming back?
I don't know.
What do you think is gonna happen if he come back?
Might be a big mess. Because if you really think about it, you were considered the tribal chief. You had your boys. Now one is out, injured, and now you got your two. Now you kind of left them hanging.
Yeah, because
so what else do you have left to do than to fend for ourselves here?
Because the other one's still out, ain't he?
That's what I say. He's out.
Solo, and you had Solo, Jacob.
Mm-hmm. It's Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
And then there's Tongaloa.
Yeah, he out, right?
He's the one that's out, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Like, oh man, you don't know exactly what's gonna end up.
And that's the beauty. So even though people are out injured or people just out or whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden, boom, they're back.
Wow.
So far in 2025, it's just been unpredictable. You don't know which way WWE is going to go at this point.
What do you think this whole John Cena thing is? What is he eventually trying to do? We know he's retiring, so you have believed that he's just trying to get the title one more last time before he wrap it up.
Pretty much. I hate to say, with this competition, it's going to be tough.
Extremely. Extremely.
Because these are not the same guys when he first came out with Ruthless Aggression. We way past that era. That was over 20 years ago. These guys, these guys here today, they're man.
Oh man,
they're amazing. So you trying to bring that? Oh, my time is now. No, bro, your time is gone.
You hear what they say. You hear what they be saying when he come out. John Cena
No, that was
sucks.
before, but everybody's like, "Oh yeah, give it a good old try. Let this old man in here." Kind of how they, doing Ric Flair or somebody. Yay, good run, go ahead. But
Hey,
yeah.
I'm
Uh,
just still surprised that it would be him and Logan Paul part of the last three in a Royal Rumble match. Really?
well, they kind of came in at the end. It's like Logan Paul was number 30.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, and even though we still on the Royal Rumble, but remember when I walked in the bedroom and just as I'm walking in the bedroom, here come who of all people, Nikki, and I walk right back out the dang on bedroom.
When she was number 30.
I was like, I'm done. It's
With
like I'm
Nikki
done.
Bella, see, I'm looking at the whole situation, and in spite of all this going on, she's coming back, and she's gonna. Maybe this time it'll be a little bit different. I'm trying to
Yeah,
give her.
right.
I'm trying to give her the benefit of the
I
doubt
ain't.
here.
You heard it here first, people. I'm not giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I am because the time that she was there, they were just starting the women's revolution. They were just getting it really going and getting it on the map. So now she's kind of one of the pioneers of it. So now you get to see your competition,
No.
who you had started in a sense. So now you got to keep up with these Tiffany Strattons, these Rhea Ripleys, if you will. It's gonna be a challenge, because you're about pushing 40, and these ladies in their 20s, full of life and full of energy, and they're now the champs now. So if you're trying to go after the title, that's a tall order. So I'm really hoping that she come back, she could be the ambassador or something. She can help tell the ladies of what had happened, because she's been in the business too for over 20 years. So she kind of knows the ins and outs. She could, be one of those. But to get back in the ring, in my opinion, especially this late in the game, it takes guts. It really does. And it takes a lot. And you're trying to keep up with everybody.
Right.
So trust, I understand what that's like.
Yeah.
And it could be, and that's why I said she and she has is fearless. So yeah, she's 100% about that. That takes a lot of guts. Fearless. I give her credit. I'm sorry. I know you disagree with that because you weren't really a big Nikki fan, but I give her credit for that, for at least trying to come back and do something. And if not, then at the same time, it's like, hey, she tried. She did the best she could.
Don't get me started on that, man.
Yes.
Oh, don't get me started on that. That was horrible. Horrible.
That wasn't horrible to me. I say go for it. You that late in the game, you come back. Come back.
For what? For what? You try? It is very oddly all of a sudden. John Cena's last year. Oh, now Nikki want to come back. Man, come on. Hey, I understand he married, but still, man, whatever.
I think one don't have nothing to do for the other. I think this is her. What she? This ain't got nothing to do with John Cena. That's all in the past. That's over 10 years ago.
Yeah, because she ain't got nothing else to do.
That's over 10 years. I wouldn't even bring that up. It's done. It's over with.
Whatever.
Let her do her thing.
All right. So in between that, we know we just had the Royal Rumble. Then we got Wrestlemania, right? So we have the Elimination Chamber. What women do you think is going to be in that match if you had to do a prediction? What women do you think is going to be in there? Because according to you said that normally the women or man that normally wins that, they get to pick the other person they obviously take on the person that person did not pick. So who do you think, far women, may be in it? Because they got to do some type of little tournament to get into it, right?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to pick because, for one, who they going to put in this tournament? That's the question. Who they going to decide to even qualify to be part of the qualifying match? That is the question. Now, they might decide to put Man, as I say, it's difficult. They couldn't use all the women. They could have put Lyra Valkyria in there. They could put Alexa Bliss in there. They could put um anybody. And it works just the same way as the men. It's really hard to predict. Only thing I could predict is once the matches is over and they're actually qualified for Elimination Chamber, then I might say, okay, then I can see who might win this. But it was just like last night. If you heard the commentators, they were doing the same thing. They had their predictions, but because things went, everybody's like, what? Because even their predictions was not even close to what they were predicting. And this is kind of the same thing. I can't even think until, first of all, I got to see who's qualifying first. Just like when they have the qualifying matches. Then once they have that, then I was like, okay, then maybe I could see such and such in there.
Right. Okay. Well, hey, I don't know. We're going to see because it's everything leads up the road to WrestleMania now. And we heading down that road. We trying to see who is going to take on who for what title. And that's the main thing. And then you're going to have your little matches in between somewhere because I can believe that that what whole Shinsuke and LA Knight saga that's far from over, right?
Just start back up because LA Knight want that title back.
Yeah. So who knows there? You know what I'm saying? We got Street Profits coming out the tag team titles.
I believe they're gonna win it this time. It's been a long time since they held the tag team titles. I think they should give them another go.
We don't know who's gonna take on Bianca and Naomi. Far as like tag team women, we don't know.
There's not many tag team women there.
Yeah, so we don't know exactly how that's gonna play out.
I kind of wish, in a way, they would bring back when they did the couples match where they had possibly the boyfriend and girlfriend or the husband and the wife taking on one another.
That type of stuff.
Yeah, that one was kind of fun to watch.
Okay.
But I don't even know if they want to bring that back.
Yeah, so I mean, it's wrestling. The road to WrestleMania. Everything is predictable. Just when you think that you might got this figured out, here's that. Because, like I say, totally, I did not expect Jay. Didn't know. Wow, that literally came. Like I say it again. It came completely out of left field. The whole Charlotte thing. Everybody can like, yeah, you predict that, but that's overrated. That's lame because, like we say, it's a pattern with that. Because when she goes away, when she comes back, she'll do that. Because I remember it was, a couple of times she did that. She didn't win the Royal Rumble, but she was like close to the last person to winning it.
Or they threw her in there.
Yeah, and then some way, somehow, she still managed to find a way to go after the title. And normally when she goes after the title, when she comes back, she normally wins it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, man, don't nobody want to keep saying that, but it's entertainment. I mean, because we know your bucket list is to get to WrestleMania, and you don't want to be nowhere back. You already said you want to be front row, so you can feel the mist.
Yes, I want to feel the mist. That's the best part. Because you get to see everything live. You probably get to smack some hands. Probably get a selfie. Probably get some autographs signed. High five. Good job. Congratulations. Handshakes. Whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna see all exactly happening. Just like I'm excited for the dang on new WWE 2K25 to drop. By the way, if you haven't pre-ordered it yet and you're a wrestling fan, you like to play video games, by all means, please go pre-order it. It's a good game. I got the Bloodline edition. Got it pre-ordered, preset, whatever else. My son doofed me, but I'll be all right. But yeah.
But they also have a show too out. And plug that in. It's called Evolve. And Evolve is up and coming superstars that they're getting prepared for NXT.
That's good.
It's almost like a Tough Enough, but it's not because everybody's already there.
So now, let's say we didn't covered the Royal Rumble. We kind of gave little predictions, as far as just a little small predictions for the Elimination Chamber. So, what is your predictions for the WrestleMania? What type of matches are you looking forward to see, and you may just expect to see, and then what type of matches you just might see, think you just might come out of left field at you?
Oh wow. I would like to see Cody and CM Punk for some reason. I would like to see those two go at it for the title. And this time Punk wins. Not because I am a CM Punk fan, but because, I think that would be a good match. Let's say with those two going at it. I wouldn't be surprised it'd be a three-way match if you throw in Drew McIntyre, Roman, and Seth.
See, but that's the thing. Drew be crying too dang on much. He always crying because I didn't get my way. I'm crying because I got
He
cheated.
is frustrated, and now Seth is frustrated. So it's more of I'm doing this, but there's always interference in what I'm trying to do. I think that's just pure frustration. I don't think that's so much as crying in a sense. It's just let me get my fair share, or let me get my lick back. Something like that. Because I might even see Drew going up against Roman because he's been dying to get at Roman.
Right.
For payback for what happened, and because of that, he's still. But this is like anybody in a sense. If somebody wrongs you in any way, you want that to be corrected.
Right.
You want that out of you because if not, it's going to be eating at you and bothering you. And that's the situation he's going through. The bloodline is the reason why he lost the title. So that's why he doesn't like anything in the bloodline.
You believe you can see them two fighting each other in WrestleMania, and do you believe that you can see Cody and CM Punk and possibly throwing in Seth in a three-way match?
Not for the title. I don't see Seth in there.
Okay.
Even though I am also a Seth Rollins fan, but I believe in a sense about giving other people chances too, because I felt CM Punk was robbed because last year at the Royal Rumble he messed up his arm, so he couldn't compete for several months, which I have reason to believe. I believe he would have won the Royal Rumble. Seth, he's really good. They don't call him the architect for nothing. It's just more like for him, I think he needs another challenge in a sense, because you already did all the titles, tag team, intercontinental. You even won the Royal Rumble. It's a lot of things that his list is so long. He's done so much. It could be something simple that, like in the case of Sheamus, the only title he's never held was the Intercontinental title.
Right.
Which is why he's going for that. He held every single title. He won the King of the Ring. He did everything. He just never won an Intercontinental title.
Quick question: was Braun Breaker in the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Okay.
So I could see those two going at it, possibly at WrestleMania. Braun Breaker and Sheamus.
Women's size, do you think you see any matches being made?
Well, depending on who Charlotte picks, but I really hope she picks Tiffany Stratton. So that's another match. If I have reason to believe Jade Cargill will probably be back by then. I can probably see her going up against Bianca.
Because of what happened?
Yep. I can see that. I could probably even see maybe even Nia Jax probably in there somewhere, just to give her a match or something like that. Because I feel like all the stuff, I know she want to get even with Tiffany Stratton too.
Right.
Because she's the reason she lost the title in the first place. So I could see her going after her. So that might be something. They might even make that a three-way between. But I just hope they don't do that to Charlotte, because since she decides to go after Tiffy time, she makes this decision that they throw Nia Jax in the mix. That'd be kind of like, dang, But I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. as far as the tag team championships, that's hard because there's not many women tag teams there.
Right.
I can even see maybe even Lyra Valkyria. I could probably see her and Alexa Bliss going at it for the title.
That's a match to be made then. So that mean, because we did talk, and me and you both had our theories. We believe that Chelsea Green is just a placeholder with that title.
Probably so.
And I could see her being at WrestleMania taking on somebody for that title.
Probably Meechin again. Because Meechin's been robbed each and every time that she took her on, and each and every time she had her beat. Then here comes Piper Niven.
Right.
And the one thing I don't like is Piper Niven. She's a good wrestler. I've seen her, and it's like they're holding her back. I feel a little bit. They need to put her in more competition matches because I believe she's just as good as any woman there. And they would give them the run for their money. I'm not saying because of her size. I actually see, for a woman her size, she can move pretty good. So I think she could keep up with everybody. I believe she would be good. Maybe she'll break away from Chelsea Green, or she might be the one to go up against Chelsea Green for the title for that simple fact of how you've been treating me.
Right.
So, I mean, I could see that match going on, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. That could happen. Depending on how long, she decides to put up with it, I guess. Because even Tiffany Stratton, after a while, got tired of Nia Jax. Like, okay, And when she became Miss Money in the Bank, that also sealed the deal for her. It's like, okay. And she was just holding on to the right moment. And
yeah, that's gonna be like big, man. It's that whole thing of like these matches and what are you trying to see? What do you hope to see? What would you like to see? Other type of matches that's still out there. You really just don't know. You really just don't know. It's just it's odd as it seems. You're still trying to make these matches for WrestleMania because we always know, like I said, in a Royal Rumble, somewhere in between there, somebody comes out all of a sudden. You did something to me at the Royal Rumble, so now I got beef with you, and now boom, I want to see you at WrestleMania because everybody wants that WrestleMania moment.
yeah, but that is tradition. That's been going on for many years. If somebody wrongs somebody at the Royal Rumble, best believe they might be battling each other all the way until WrestleMania
Yeah,
or after the fact.
yeah. I mean, you just don't know. It's oh man, this I believe it's gonna be interesting. And then on top of that, if you end up having a draft before WrestleMania, oh man, that's gonna be big. Like okay, what's going on now? What's really happening? So
But I believe it's going to be after WrestleMania. They want to get that out the way. And then it's like starting anew after that. Okay, like it's a refresher. Okay, so now we got this person over here, we got this person over there. And that could start up a whole new thing. It's
Right.
like now they got Damian Priest over there. So his competition and who is, going to get in his face after a while.
right,
So it's just the matter of as long as they keep storylines going for these guys and these women that they'll continue, especially when they already have a good run
right.
and they're going, that will keep their star bright and everything.
I got you. So I say we didn't cover the Royal Rumble. We then gave a little bit of predictions heading into WrestleMania. So let's just switch gears here real quick and let's talk a little bit about the NXT because NXT got a big pay-per-view coming up, right?
I believe so. I haven't seen any anything because usually their stuff is not like a pay-per-view. It's more
Yeah,
like
well, event. They got an event coming
they
up.
do the events
Right.
on Tuesdays.
So don't they have one where you got or no, that they had that match already where it was Trick Williams, over Femi, and
No, that's coming up.
was it Grayson Waller?
No. Grayson Waller is on Raw now.
Yeah, but no. I know he's taken. It's supposed to be a triple threat match. Trick Williams, Obafemi, and Grayson Waller.
That's not Grayson Waller. I think you talking about old dude that came back.
No, I'm talking. I ain't talking about like that. I remember when Grayson Waller had Obafemi on there. She made the GM the Rock's daughter. She made a match for like I think for the following week, this upcoming
That's probably just a match, but that's just that's the regular TV show. That's not.
Well, I'm saying yeah, but still, even though I know it's nothing big, but still though, you got a 3-way match with them three, and we obviously we know that I believe that Obafemi's not gonna lose his title. I mean, heck, just it's just what it is. I don't see it happening. I mean, not yet. I want to see what Fallon Henley. I want to see her finally lose her dang on title. I can't stand her. I don't see nothing all that special about her or anything like that.
It's not bad.
Kalani Jordan and who was the lady she keep giving advice to about the dude she kind of messing around with.
Oh, you talking about Carmen? I cannot say her last name.
Yeah, she giving
well, it wasn't much as of advice. It was some weeks back that they were supposed to team up, and I guess it didn't go her way. And Kalani, just like everybody else is going on, she's just frustrated because she's trying to get her title back,
right,
and people not understanding why she's upset.
So, who has the women's North American title?
Fallon.
Oh, Fallon has it. Okay. Yeah. See, I can see that. And
Yeah, because the interference of the other two ladies. That's why
right.
she lost it.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
So that's what I mean. The frustration.
Yeah. Why? If you could beat me straight up without anybody interference, then I can respect you. But like I say, the storyline, it makes it good entertainment.
You have to go with the entertainment side. You can't go, yeah, that's right, that's wrong. Obviously, it don't matter. It ain't no. It's no. You gotta throw that out the window when you look. It's no such thing as right. There's no such thing as wrong. This is what's going to be, and that's just how it's going to work. And it is what it is, because that's the whole point when you were heel. Because that's, you got to look at the heel. They're being bad.
Right.
So naturally, yes, there's going to be interference.
It depends on the way the crowd is reacting to you too.
Yeah, because being booed is also a good thing.
Yeah.
Like take Dominic Mysterio. I mean, they boo him so much, he can't even talk.
So, do you even like anybody in NXT? Do you feel that can really make a big impact if they get drafted?
I know Obafemi will.
I can see that.
He is huge, not because of size, but he's dominant. He's one of them dominant ones in the ring as well.
Mm-hmm. I can see Trick. Mm-hmm. I can see Lash Legend. Mm-hmm. I can see that. I can see when she comes along, Jada Parker. When she comes along,
I might give her another year or two because she was also in the Women's Royal Rumble last night.
Nikita, that's like one. I like her, but she's just been out too dang long.
She's been injured. It's like her leg get injured, and then she comes back. Then the other leg gets injured, and then she comes back, and then the leg gets injured again.
Man,
that's why I believe it's gonna take a while for her to move up to the main roster. When you're getting injured like that,
can't stay healthy.
It's not healthy. It's injuries. You can be the healthiest one out there, but if you keep getting injured,
okay,
you haven't really been out there to prove yourself. You might have did 1 match, 2 match, 3 match, and then you're out.
Yeah.
But it's a little different because remember back in the day, if you got injured, and you had to stay out, that's why some of them rush back so quickly because they're afraid their spot's going to be taken or they're going to be forgotten about.
Well, moving on to some other notes. How do you feel about what's going on with the New Day right now?
It's a little funny to me because they were just speaking their truth. Biggie got injured. Obviously, we all know that. And Biggie hasn't been there. He hasn't been there to either be in that corner or anything. He's been doing everything else. He'll be at the panel talking or, that type of thing, but he hasn't been in their corner. So, in a way, I understand where they're coming from. I know a lot of people trying that storyline, like, man, you turned your back on Biggie, da 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 da. Like, well, I mean, look from their point of view. They've been out here ever since he got injured the last few years, and they've been battling and winning and losing, and Biggie was nowhere to be found. Now all of a sudden we do the 10-year anniversary, and they were talking about splitting up at the moment because they kept getting into fights. But the only thing they could agree on at the time was Biggie was not there for us, and now all of a sudden, and they also had a point when we came out to our music. He came out separate on his own music, trying to do the 10 year. So for me, I understand completely where they're coming from. Like, you supposed to be our boy. You are a third member. I understand you out and everything, but you been doing everything else. You could have been in our corner. You could have cheered us on. You could have been yay go, or you could have walked out with them. Anything. So I feel them 100%. But what's making it funny is now they bringing their real true families in there, and they looking at him like, because Kofi had his mom out there, and she done turned her back on him and rolled eyes and everything. And then Xavier, I think a week or two ago, had his family out there, and they looking at him. They even put on the Big E shirt, so or had the New Day sucks and. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny. Like, dang, y'all too? Y'all supposed to be my blood,
Right, right. Like, man, we supposed to be blood, and y'all gonna turn your back on me
Yeah,
like
because
that.
of Big E, and I'm like, it ain't like they jumped them or nothing. They just,
And they don't even been looking like the New Day. They ain't been wrestling they actual gear. They just been.
well, that's the thing, that whole time when they were a group, we dressed together. At one point, they doing the bootios, and they had the unicorns and all this other stuff, and throwing pancakes to everybody. And now it's time for us to be us individually. You ain't got to like us right now because it's like, man, y'all just turning their back. Everybody turning their back. Nobody ain't speaking to us.
I got a feeling they finna end up snapping.
They already have.
No, I'm talking about really snap on somebody.
They already have.
Who?
They snapped off from Rey Mysterio. That's why they were taking on him. There was a few other people because they like, okay, I'm not understanding why you so upset. But they looking like, no, man, that's supposed to be your partner, and you weren't supposed to do that. But they're not looking from their point of view. So that's just my opinion with that one. But I'm probably the only one that's saying New Day. I understand because everybody doing the New Day sucks. But I actually understand where they coming from on it. So New Day, I'm with y'all. Kofi, Xavier, I'm with y'all. I feel y'all. I understand because if that's supposed to be your boy, he was supposed to have been there through thick and thin. Even though he was injured, he was able to walk around. He was able to come there. He was able to at least walk down with you. He could put on the unicorn. He could have shaked his butt like he normally do. We could have did all of that together. So I get it 100%. I get y'all. So I probably
For everybody that's watching or people that's gonna watching, yeah, that's my wife. Don't mind her. Don't listen to her. Hey, I don't even listen to her some dang on times.
and it shows.
You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes I got to turn the wife knob, on and off. All men, we have those. So if you got one, you don't want to listen to your wife, just turn it off.
Yeah, but there is a time that you would want something from your wife. So
Or it's important, you got to turn it back on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So you better be careful with that one.
So hey, it's all good. Still love you, but at times, so.
But how you think I feel when we having a conversation and then you break it down in sportsman terms and football, basketball terms, and I'm like, okay, we talking about dinner. How do we get on LeBron James or
Yeah, we just
how do we go there? We talk about what's for dinner.
That's just us being us being Heelys. But like I say, we watch wrestling together. Mainly, I watch mainly the big pay-per-views together. With you,
Yeah,
like WrestleMania.
yeah, you behind on a lot of stuff. It's just like Marvel, and I hate to keep using that point. You can't just watch one thing and know what you're talking about. You got to watch
Yeah,
everything.
but I sit there late at night when you watching. I watch the match and I hear what everybody's saying. So like, I'm not behind on most everything.
You're behind because there's questions you be asking me, and what happened to such and such? Oh, he done been left.
Yeah, because sometimes wrestling ain't that good, and poof, gone. Just like perfect example. We was talking about two young ladies that got drafted last year. What they at?
Oh, you talking about Alba Fire, and
No, I'm talking about from SmackDown. I mean, no, from NXT to the main. Well, to NXT, and then they got one. I think one got drafted to SmackDown, the other one may got drafted to Raw. It was the one young lady that kind of walked out like a business like type mentality, like she had on a suit, like looking like she was business like. She got drafted last year, and then you ain't hear too much anymore.
that's bad because apparently I forgot to.
Right, exactly.
And that's why in some cases I don't like when they do that with the talent because when they're in NXT, it's almost like they have such a good run. They are very popular, and then when they move them to SmackDown or Raw, it's almost like where they go. And the name's probably gonna come to me after this podcast, but I know who you're talking about. But I just believe she's one of the ones that's getting lost in the shuffle.
Right, and then Candice LeRae ain't really all that.
Like I said, there's another one that's a good wrestler. When her and Johnny Gargano, which is her husband, they were in NXT and they were heels, both of them. They, even though a lot of people didn't like them, they had a very good run. They both, were like almost the most hated people there. So now they're kind of bringing that back right now a little bit. They're both turning into heels or are heels.
Right.
So they're trying to, I guess, bring that back, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But they tried when they were using her with Nia Jax. And I think that's still going to happen. But like I said, it really all depends where they continue to go with that. Because some storylines they started and then they just stopped it. And then something else happened because of other situations or whatever.
I'm just real curious to see how, like I say, every storyline that's going on, everything gonna play. Like especially tomorrow. Now everything has been set. It's curious to see what's gonna happen between Cody and Kevin. It's gonna be interested to see now that Charlotte is back. Is she end up gonna coming out on SmackDown, or is she gonna come out tomorrow on Raw? And then with
if she's a free agent, she can go anywhere she want
right,
to go.
and Jay is on what? Is he on Raw?
He's on Raw.
So, you already said that more likely he's already hinting and said he's going out to Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then the whole thing is going to be between Seth, Roman, and CM Punk. And we know something going to end up happening there because, it's just them two mainly got history. Then them other two got history. So it's like, okay.
Actually, all of them got history.
Right. And then Drew going to find him somewhere to throw him somewhere up in there because he got a problem with, like you say, Roman.
Yeah, problem with everybody. It ain't just Roman.
So he got a problem with CM Punk. So it's like, it's really interesting to see where everything is going to go and how things are going to end up turning out heading into WrestleMania. We don't know. Me personally, I would love to see the draft before WrestleMania because then that really shakes some things up.
I don't know. I think things are pretty shaky right now. As it's coming along, but like I said, it just began. We in another new month, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's a brand new month.
There might even be some brand new people that just all of a sudden show up or come back, or there's even rumors about Booker T getting back in the ring.
Man,
So
Booker T, go sit your butt down, buddy.
leave Booker T be. If he want to get back in the
Yay,
ring,
man.
yeah, man. If you want to get back in the ring, get back in the ring. I ain't knocking. I'm not knocking nobody that is, especially if they are old school. I'm not really knocking them.
Okay,
I probably would knock Ric Flair, because he
So-
don't need to get back in the ring. But
now I done talked about WrestleMania. I done talked to anything from NXT. I done pretty much got caught up within this week. Now, I'm gonna ask you some questions, and I just need you to answer this. So, from I want to say the Attitude Era, all right? 3 favorite male wrestlers.
obviously, Stone Cold, The Rock, and Undertaker.
Women.
Well, many women, but I like China. China was my girl.
All right. And I want to say 3 men you liked before the Attitude Era.
Well, obviously Bret Hart. That was my guy. Macho Man. Who could go wrong with the Macho Man?
Ooh, yeah.
And the Ultimate Warrior.
Agree with that. And then I want to say after the Attitude Era, where we would call it what, ruthless aggression,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 male superstars.
I know CM Punk was just coming in. It was in between, so that was definitely my favorite at the time. I know Sheamus came in a little after that. Sheamus was my good, and Drew McIntyre was out back then, so I like Drew even back then.
That's a big no for me.
Whatever.
And what about when Divas was first really getting started?
The Divas. You talking about actually wrestling, or were they just
Actually wrestling. I'm talking about.
Or you talking about the women's revolution, or
I'm talking about we taking it back right around the ruthless aggression era. I'm talking about like Lita, Trish Stratus.
Those were the only 2 at the time.
So, but we know you like Lita more than you like Trish.
I don't even like Trish. I like Lita.
All right. Women's revolution.
Oh God.
Or we're in between that, we'll say Divas, because
Well, when they were first starting the women's revolution, obviously Becky Lynch, because I was always it was just something about her even back then before she even became as big as she did. She was pretty good. I like Paige.
Okay.
Even though there's some stuff there. And believe it or not, I did like AJ Lee as a character wrestler. Wasn't a really strong wrestler, but the character that she played, I actually liked.
Okay.
So I would say about those 3.
And obviously, we talking about now.
Got a week. The women right now, obviously Rhea Ripley, Mommy, Bleeder Lee. Let's see. I do like Becky and Bianca, and the reason why I like those 3 is because as of right now, they're being them, and it's showing through their characters, and I think that's why they're pretty much likable. And I had to throw Oscar in there somewhere too. I'm sorry.
Man, when is my girl coming back, man?
Yeah, Oscar was very.
That's you know man, hey, people, I'm just letting y'all know. I do love my wife. Okay? But when it comes to women's wrestling, one of my favorite women wrestler is Oscar. When is my girl coming back, man?
Well, Io Sky too. I can't leave.
You
Io
know I
Sky
love
out.
Io Sky too, but I'm saying, but when is Oscar coming back? You know this,
That was a really bad knee injury that she had.
man.
So it was pretty bad, but I know it's been surgically repaired, and you can actually check her out on her channel too on the podcast. It's called Kana Chan.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I'm a subscriber.
Yeah, so she just did something.
I know.
So, but as far as coming back, I really don't know.
I really kind of like Alexa Bliss too.
I like Alexa Bliss. Yeah,
you know.
but
But
it's a long list of women, but those are like my top.
But for me, they're really like if we're talking just like NXT, like women that okay, obviously I knew, about the Becky and the Biancas, but what got me more interested and to me, the match that really did it for me was between Nikita and Lash Legends. When I first seen them two, I was like, I could see them being on Raw or SmackDown, and I could see eventually them being a champion because it's like that. And then eventually looking at Lash Legend, that's when I looked up. I was like, man, she used to be a hooper.
Yeah, she played for the WNBA.
And I was like, oh, well, this is what she at now, though. But so, yeah, it's good, and it's predictable. So, and we talking about men wrestlers right now. Your favorites, obviously. I live with your heck. I can give you that.
That's also a long list. If you're talking about today.
One is CM Punk, people. The other is Roman Reigns. The other is Seth Rollins. Heck, she still like Drew.
Yes, yeah, I drove Drew McIntyre in there.
She
and of course my boy Jay.
Yeah, she like Jay. You know what I'm saying? She like Jimmy still too.
Of course. Actually, I hate to say it though, but Jimmy Uso's theme song is banging more than Jay. I'm sorry.
No,
but Jimmy is banging, especially when you hear that.
Jay.
Nah, but when you hear Jimmy's beat, when you hear that, it gets you going. I'm sorry. I like them both, but that Jimmy's theme is better than Jay to me.
Look, I'm gonna let y'all into my world here a little bit with this beautiful, lovely woman in our household. When I say wrestling, anything is anywhere. It's not anywhere in our house, but specifically one spot in our bedroom. Her whole side of the bedroom, left side, all WWE. We talking about from Bears to Funko Pops to magazines,
Bleacher
Creatures to calendars. Like, man, you know what? I might have to eventually start sleeping downstairs because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, WWE finna kick me out my dang on bedroom, people. Y'all gotta help me here.
Well, I have no other place to put it since your spot is covered with football, basketball, and baseball.
People, listen to me. Help me. I need help. Okay?
I have no other place to put it. Where am I supposed to put it? Where am I supposed to put it?
And then she have mostly all of everybody's theme music. Come on.
Hey.
Come on.
They get you hype. Okay, when Roman's theme song came on, don't tell me.
Oh, man, hey, don't start. Don't start.
When his song came on, come on.
Hey, Romans, it be banging. Hey,
you be ready to throw the ones up.
Look, dang on well, I play WWE 2K, and I had at one point in time, I had Pat McAfee's on there because I like Pat McAfee's. He is it.
But that's football more so than
But for
wrestling.
me, Jay is better than Jimmy's theme. I just like Jay's.
It's
Yeet, man. Come on.
but that's the same one they used to come out on years ago, and all he did was change it.
If I could,
that's all they did was change the lyrics.
Look, people, if I could, I ain't gonna do swell like that. I would probably stand up on his dang on couch right now and start yeeting up in here, but I can't do that.
I mean, I could yeet. Ain't nothing wrong with the yeet. I just said I like Jimmy's better than Jay, but I didn't say I didn't like Jay. I like Jay's theme song, but it's the same song that they came out on. Jimmy's is totally different.
Ladies and gentlemen, my wife is a hater. Just putting that out there.
What did I just say? See, you're not hearing. I didn't say I didn't like Jay. Remember, I didn't say I don't like to yeet.
Remember I told you about that little, thing you turn off that you want to listen to your women? That's what I got turned off right now. Beep, beep. I still love you.
This is why I have to run away to my spot.
Yeah, but I mean, that's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to sit here and wrap it up. I appreciate you for being a part of the Panle Network. Don't forget to subscribe. Please like up the video. This is the first WWE podcast. Remember, WWE podcast. I am your host, Coach Corey, and looking forward to seeing fresh faces out here and fresh new face to come and sit and join me and my wife and talk some more WWE podcast and predictions heading into WrestleMania to get everybody else's point of view on it and everything else. But we love you people. Don't forget, like I said, subscribe, recommend, show it to your friends, families, like up the video. Let's get them numbers up there, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to push the algorithm up as much as we possibly can. You know what I'm saying? It's been great. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Love you. Peace out. Enjoy.